Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Tech Talk with Bill, where we basically make the JavaScript simple and also practical. Even if you're completely new to C or to coding, this is the right place for you. And I'm Bill, and today we're going to learn about one of the most fundamental building blocks in JavaScript, and we call this the equality operator. And before we continue, I'd like to make sure that you can follow along. So at the end of the screen, I have created how to set up your developer environment so you could be at the same place and same page on what you're seeing now on the screen. Now, this tiny symbol of equality decides whether two values are the same. And here's the twist. JavaScript can be too nice and tries to help you by changing things behind the scenes. That helpfulness can lead to some funny, confusing, and even dangerous results to programs that you will be building. So in this lesson, we'll explore how JavaScript checks the equality, what really happens when you use the double equal sign in comparison to the three equal sign, and why understanding these concepts early in your career will save you hours for finding out the root cause, or what we call debugging in programming in your later career. But before we start, make sure that you join as a member in my channel Tech Talk with Bill to get access to videos early prior to publishing, notifications to deep dives, live coding practice, and scripting lessons. All right, so let us jump in. I will paste this example on the screen. And you will see here a common structure in JavaScript. And if this is your first time watching my video, at the end of my screen, I'll speak about variables and arithmetic operations, also about the structure or code structure that you will find at the end of the screen. So on this example, we have multiple lines. So we are making comparison of variables A and B if they are basically equal. And you might expect that JavaScript to say these two are not equal. After all, one is a number and the other is a string. But when you run this code, it will print equal. Why? Because JavaScript says maybe they're the same thing. It takes 5, which is the string, and automatically converts it into number 5. So the engine basically creates a transformation from a string to a number. Then it compares 5 to 5 and decides if they are equal. And in technical terms, and I would like you to get used to it, this is called coercion. So let me spell that, coercion. So let me put a comment. And it's the hidden feature behind the equality operator, which you can find on line 3. So the loose equality operator, which you'll find in line 3, is quite flexible. It says, like, let me look at both sides. If they look alike, then before or decide. Now, to give you more familiarity of the capability of the technology, let's look at a few more examples, and I'd like to explain each one. So this line 8, which I just pasted, is the same as what you see from lines 1 to 5. So we have just directly embedded the expression into our print function, which is js.info. So for those who are new into functions, I will put the functions video at the end of the screen so you could follow along. Now both sides are numbers, both are 5. So this line 8, once you run the script, it will return to true. Well, if it looks harmless to you, and I like to advise that you have to be careful because it can trick you to a latter when you don't want types to mix up. So types meaning you have a string type and you have a number type. As you can see, as the type changes, the JavaScript framework also helps you out in terms of like color coding for easy identification. So let me give you more examples. So this line 10, here JavaScript says full is kind of like 0 and turns false into 0. Then it compares 0 to 0 and it says true. And this can cause logical errors in your conditions. Imagine if you're checking if a user input equals to false and getting a match with 0 unexpectedly. So in coding, there is a binary concept that I'd like you to understand. True and false, 0 and 1 are basically Boolean values. And I'd like you to try it yourself. And to get more your experience, like my example now, 0 double equals to false will come out to true. And try put 1 double equals to false if it equates to true. So this is something I'd like you to experience yourself, because coding is getting your hands dirty. And as you get your hands dirty, you get more experience and you become better on what you do. So I'll give you another example for your familiarity. So this one surprises almost everyone. An empty string doesn't look like a number, but JavaScript converts this one into 0 before comparing. Since both sides become 0, then the result is true. That's why many developers say loose quality can be dangerous. And this approach of the technology assumes too much for you. And now let us compare this special case. JavaScript treats null and undefined as loosely equal because both represent the absence of value. But in reality, these two parameters, they're not the same. One means no value assigned, and the other means not even defined yet. So I'd like you to take notice, because as you drill down and loop into thousands of data, and the data integrity is not expected to be perfect, and you will encounter null or undefined values. And as you basically catch them, you will be able to treat them properly and approach the correct syntax or logic as you basically find the values of a specific information. So in short, loose quality or double equal tries to help by converting types automatically, but that flexibility often causes confusion. Now let us move forward with the meeting the strict equality operator, which is a tree equal sign. The safer and smarter version, the tree equal sign means no type conversion. If the type of the value doesn't match exactly, JavaScript says false immediately. And let's see this in action by providing you this example. So this time, JavaScript doesn't convert the string of 5 into a number. It says, nope, one is a string and the other is a number. And they are a different result, which basically comes out with a false. And this strictness is what keeps your logic consistent and also predictable. So basically, it answers your question when to use the double equal or the triple equal sign. So with the double equal, this used to return value, but on this instance, not anymore. 0 is a number, false is a boolean, and triple equals, which you're seeing on line 19, refuses to mix them. It returns false, which is exactly what you want if you're checking true logical values, which are not type corrected ones. Now on this example, on line 21, even though they both represent nothing, they're both different kinds of nothing. So null is unintentional, while undefined means the variable hasn't been assigned yet. So strict equality helps you distinguish the correct outcomes and the difference between the two. Now on line 23, finally, the empty string and 0 are not the same. They're different types. One is a string and the other is a number. So the three equal signs correctly now returns false. Now, from line 25 until line 34, let's compare the two in one view. So if you want your code to be clean and predictable, always prefer the triple equal sign, which you find on the right, which is the strict equality. It prevents JavaScript from guessing what you mean. And if this breakdown is helping you finally understand how equality really works, then take the next step to join as a member, and you'll get early access to new tutorials, practice exercises designed to make you confident in JavaScript and in ServiceNow scripting. Now let's practice together. I advise to open your script background and watch what happens, then I will be explaining. In this first line on line 36, JavaScript converts 42 or string 42 into 42 a number, and they match. Now in the second line, we use the tree equal sign, which refuses to convert, so it returns false. This shows the exact difference between checking just value and it checks both value and type. Now on line 40 and 41, here JavaScript says true is similar to 1. So the double equal gives true, but the triple equal says Boolean versus number. It's not a match, and it gives false as a result. Then strict equality is again more accurate. Now on line 44 and 45, empty strings are treated as false in loosely comparison, which is the double equal sign. So you get true on the first line, but strict comparison on line 45 correctly says that there are different types, giving false on the second. And line 47 and 48, this is a classic, very classic one, a JavaScript trap. And loose equality converts 0 or string 0 into 0, then compares with false, which also becomes 0. That results true. Then strict equality basically avoids this mistake and confusion and correctly returns false. So here are the rules that you should remember. Always use the tree equal unless you fully understand the type correct coercion. If you're comparing different types, convert them first as a step, then use the tree equal sign. Avoid the double equal in production code. It may work for you today, and tomorrow it will lack the reliability when your data types change. And in ServiceNow scripting, where data often comes from forms, users, or integrations, so strict equality ensures you don't accidentally match the wrong values. And that's the JavaScript equality operator. It's simple, powerful, but sometimes very tricky. Now you know why the double equal can behave unexpectedly and why the tree equal sign is your best friend for writing reliable scripts. If this helped you finally understand how JavaScript decides equality, don't forget to join as a member for extended lessons, real-world projects, and career guidance for your journey into tech. I am Bill, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Keep coding, keep learning, and remember, every great developer started exactly where you are now.